Coming up now on 812, as promised this morning, Liz Webb Hebert joining us, going to talk a little bit about last night's council meeting. Liz, good morning.
Good morning, Bernie. How are you?
Oh, we're doing just great this morning. And, of course, it was a busy evening last night. And just want to talk a little bit about Redflex and the meeting in general and some of the comments, et cetera. All right, so starting us off, the extension did pass. And so another year of Redflex, right?
That's correct.
So tell me, what kind of comments were made? What kind of discussions took place last night?
Yeah, I think really great discussions took place. Is that one of the things I want to start off by saying is the comment I made, which of course I feel is the best one, right? So the comment I made and the suggestion I made and the reason why I chose to extend this program is that I want to look into a more creative, profitable way for the city to continue to have Redflex cameras. Because the reason why I want to continue having them is when my constituents emailed me about Redflex, they said, you have to get rid of Redflex. And I said, okay, well, is it company Redflex and the stories you're hearing online, or the alleged stories, of course, the stories you're hearing online, or is it the actual cameras and the fact that you are getting a ticket in the mail that you don't like? And people say, well, it's the company, I hear this, I hear that. And so I said, okay, so you don't mind the actual speed cameras keeping your roads safe? And they say no. So what I proposed last night at the meeting was for us to actually do the cameras in-house, meaning Lafayette Consolidated Government take that over, similar to how we have done with fiber, LUS. And this way we can put cameras where we feel as a city we need them to be, but then also we can keep 100% of the funds collected.
A lot of people have suggested it, and so I'm assuming it's going to take a lot of research to see if we can buy that equipment or similar equipment. And so, I guess they're kind of looking at, we're going to have to weigh the costs.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If it can be done for somewhat of an affordable amount, you would like to go forward with that.
Well, sure. And I think it's about safety for me, 100%, is that if I can stop someone from running a red light and killing myself, my family members, anyone in Lafayette, then to me it's well worth the money. Of course, it's nice to have these additional funds. It's what someone made a great point and called it a voluntary tax, is you only have to pay it if you're going over the speed limit, running a red light, or doing something that you shouldn't be doing anyway, right? If you're practicing safe driving, you don't have to pay it.
Now, some people have said that too. They just don't like the idea of cameras. If we do this, and let's say we go forward, we buy the equipment and it becomes our own program, would you also be for the expansion of that program, maybe actually buying a few more of the speed vans themselves? I mean, currently we have 2. Would you want to see more?
We have 4, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Would you want to see that expanded to maybe 8?
What I want to see, I'm sorry, Bernie, can you say that again?
Sure.
I want more.
So let's say we started out, we bought all the equipment, and we started out with the 4 that we currently have. But would you want to see that extended? Would you want to see even more speed vans, like 8 speed vans in our community, and maybe even more cameras at intersections? Do you think the program should be bigger?
We actually, believe it or not, as much as people love to hate the speed vans and speed cameras, I can't tell you how many calls I get from constituents. Just this week I've gotten 3 calls from neighbors that say, please put a speed van in my neighborhood. Someone is speeding, they're running red lights, they're running cameras, they're running stop signs. So people appreciate that for a personal neighborhood safety, right? And to answer your question about do I want more vans, I don't know if there's a need for more vans. As of right now, they're telling me that all the vans are always out trying to, at the request, because you have to fill out a permission slip to be able to let them put a van in your yard. So I would need to see if there is a need for more, right? I think 4 right now in my mind is plenty. To answer your question about the cameras, how I would personally, but of course this is up to the council, is I would personally like to see these cameras going in the areas and the intersections that have the highest traffic crashes and red light runnings, and the police department has a record of that, and that's why the cameras are where they are.
Now, let me ask you from the standpoint of the folks that say, oh, this is just a money grab. Look, we do know we are getting some revenue, but then there's all this money out there that we're not able to collect. If we change the program in the future and make it a local program, would you like to see us be able to implement something where we can actually collect the fines that are outstanding?
Oh, absolutely. Well, the current fines, I couldn't say anything about that, but do I want to make sure that we're collecting all the funds that we should be? Absolutely. And is it a money grab? I wouldn't say that's the main priority. To me, the main priority is for safety. I, of course, can't speak for everyone else, but on this current council, everyone's concern is safety for our constituents, 100%. Does it hurt that we're getting funds in the process? No, it doesn't hurt. But if a cop would be sitting in that intersection writing tickets, you'd be paying that ticket anyway.
Well, that's true. That's certainly true. Yeah. Now, what about other business with the council last night? Did you talk much about the situation with the DA and the funding situation?
We did. That was one of the last things, and bless their hearts, they sat there all night until 9:30 to be able to, because they were the last part on the
on the agenda.
On the agenda, bless their hearts. But it was a great conversation that was had, Bernie, because both judge and DA stood up and said, "We are here, open arms, wanting to work with you, and we acknowledge the same. We're wanting to work together. Unfortunately, as we know, the parish is broke. We are going to work together, and that is attitude that we have at the council level, the administration level, and working with the court system is working together 100% to see how we can come to compromise and a solution."
Definitely. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining us on the program. Obviously, everybody's going to keep their eye on the Redflex program, see what we learn this year.
Absolutely.
Whether or not it's actually feasible for our area. One final question. For a long time, there were many people who asked to have a vote, an up or down vote about Redflex in our community. But it was suggested at the time that because it's an issue of a financial issue, that is something that has to be handled by the council and that it cannot go to the people themselves for a vote. Are we clear? Are we clear on whether or not the issue can go to a vote? And if it can, would you be in support of that?
Absolutely. William Terry and I both mentioned that last night. I'm confident that if we went to the vote with the proposal I made, and of course, research pending, right? If Lafayette can take this in-house 100%, I am very confident that the majority of the constituents in Lafayette will support this because they do want safety on our roads. You hear it all the time, Bernie. Traffic crashes, people running red lights, not paying attention, speeding. You hear it whenever you do your report. And I think Lafayette would vote to support being able to have traffic control in Lafayette. That way our police can focus on more important things than just sitting there writing tickets.
All right, Liz.
Absolutely.
Liz Webb has been joining us. Thank you for your time this morning. Appreciate you.
Of course. Thank you, Bernie. Y'all have a great day.
You too. All right, coming up now on 8:21, time now for traffic.